Boom. Welcome to Grown Dad Business. This is Aaron Kleiber. I'm here with Jason Clark.
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
You're greeting everybody like you're selling candy outside of the school. Hello, everybody. Come over to Jason's trunk. I got all kinds of lollipops. I got poppies for your children. Well, hey, this week we're talking about some fun stuff. We're talking about selling your house, not particularly your house, but selling my house, and Jason selling his mother-in-law's house.
This isn't a real estate scheme.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
and
everybody.
this is this episode of Grown Dad Business. We're doing a little bit different with the little intro.
Yeah.
Little intro. Then we're gonna drop the kids in.
Boom.
Boom.
Grown Dad Business with Aaron Kleiber. That's my dad. Hello, underpants. That is hilarious. Shut your mouth, dude. Rate and review this podcast, or my daddy will go into a deep depression. Going down business with Aaron Kleiber. Yeah.
Bingo. Boom.
Bingo.
I said something different, dude.
Bingo on the comeback.
Yeah, bingo on the comeback. We're still working it out.
Yeah.
I can't say boom 9 times.
No, it does. It can be annoying.
Boom at the front.
Bingo on the ring.
Boom going into the intro. And then come back and we'll say whatever we want. We'll just follow our heart.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's
You
it.
follow your heart and just whatever you say, you say.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, hey, it's me and Jason coming from the Dad Cave. And Jace, the Dad Cave is looking sharp.
It's looking good. It is.
What's so funny, dude?
It's funny that you're just like, it's looking sharp.
It's looking sharp, man.
It's looking good.
Hey, you know what though?
It does.
I told my wife that our house is so nice and clean that this is kind of my OCD is so satisfied right now
Yeah.
because my wife and I we're selling our house.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to get a bigger house because
You keep making babies.
we had too many kids because we love sex.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, jeez.
There we
That's
go.
not this episode.
That's next episode.
Oh, I don't think so.
No. Every week we'll just say that's next week's
Next
episode, just to keep you coming
is the
back.
Sex
We wanna-
episode. Next week is the sex episode.
Yeah. And then next week we're talking about video games. You're like, they said it was going to be
Pretty much.
sex. It's like,
Yeah, pretty
come
much.
back next week.
Next week, video games? Cool.
Yeah.
Great. It's great. Wonderful. We really want to do, Jace, let's break down some of our ideas for episodes because, friends, we want ideas for episodes.
Yeah, we've got a few good ones.
Yeah, I mean, we got a list of episode ideas, but I would love to take someone's suggestion and just roll with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, be like, oh, yeah, so-and-so came up with this idea. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. But, yeah, next week we'll do the video game episode. Sure. But we definitely want to do some music episodes because Jason and I love music.
Yeah.
And we're one of those people that, Jason and I have in common that we love every single type of music.
We do.
Except
Country. Yep.
I
don't, if country comes on and it's okay.
Whatever,
If someone's
follow your
but at
dreams.
the same time I'm just like,
I'll leave.
yeah, I don't need
I'll
this.
leave.
I got in my daughter's car. She was taking me somewhere one day, and she's taking me to go pick my car up.
Yeah.
It was in the shop, and we get in, and she had a country music station on, and I just looked at her. I go,
Where did that come from?
This was never an influence in your life.
Western PA white girls, dude.
Yeah. Where
Country
did this
music
come from?
finds them.
It is nuts here in Pittsburgh that all of a
Western
sudden,
PA millennial
Yeah,
girls,
it's weird.
white girls,
Yeah.
somehow fall in love with Kenny Chesney
Yeah.
by happenstance.
the boots and the hat
I don't get it.
sells out Heinz Field.
I don't get it.
I mean, I don't know
get
when
it.
that came to be.
I don't know.
You know, because I mean, for the longest time, I'd say our city was a classic rock stronghold.
Oh, sure.
You know.
I mean, REO Speedwagon and Journey still sell out.
Did you just drop REO? No, they don't.
Yes, they do, dude.
Not here.
Yeah, they do.
No.
And Styx, they still sell out.
I was at.
They sell out Star Lake,
I had, which is
Post Gazette Pavilion, which is now I don't
First
know.
Key Pavilion.
Whatever. Who cares?
It's changed 16 times.
Oh, and
in
who
our
is
life.
KeyBank rolling in, buying everything?
Come out of
like some-
Cleveland.
like some gangsters.
Yeah, they come out of Cleveland.
Bro,
Yeah.
KeyBank rolled into Pittsburgh, bought everything.
Yeah,
They bought the naming rights for Giant Eagle. It's called Giant Key Eagle now. I'm just kidding.
But no, we do. We both love music. It's very influential, and I mean, I have music on constantly.
It's everything,
constantly for me.
And it's funny because people may know comedian Andy Picaro. He did an episode of Grown Dad Business. He works with me a lot on the road, opens for me a lot, and him and I just had this conversation last week on the road. Andy doesn't like music. Wow, dude, we've gone over this hours and hours in the car.
He has said that word. I don't like music, or he's just like, I don't need it in my life. It's not something I have.
Listen to music.
Wow.
He doesn't hear, like, I'm not like, you know what, dude? Let me put on this song and you'll like music.
No.
He said that dozens and dozens of people in his life have done this.
Wow.
And being like, wait a second, though. Isn't Billie Jean by Michael Jackson really good? And he said that he just listens to it like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you think that has to do with...
I think there's a brain cell missing.
Well, or has disappeared.
Yeah, or I told Andy, it's funny because he said he doesn't like music, and I'm like, you're a sociopath.
Yeah, there's something
Pretty
wrong
much
there. But I think it has something to do with your upbringing too. I mean, I was constantly surrounded by music.
Me too.
My mom always had music on.
I have a
Always.
couple hundred record albums, and a third of them are my mom's that she passed to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some great albums.
Yeah, so I think that was a big influence for us.
Absolutely.
That and then my brother was the one that sort of got me into like the hard rock metal type of stuff, and then I had a couple friends.
Yeah, my stepbrother, when I was really little, I had a stepbrother, and he was a teenager. So man, I just knew the sounds and liked the sounds of Metallica and Whitesnake and Guns N' Roses, and you know what I mean? And that's how I kind of got more into...
You're 1 for 3 right there, but that's okay. Let's turn into a music episode.
I mean, he was a teenager in like 1987, dude.
No, I understand. So was I.
All right, man, whatever.
There's that.
Megadeth?
Never. Metallica. And that's a whole thing.
That was good.
Because Dave Mustaine was in Metallica.
Yeah.
He was the original guitarist. And
yeah.
when they threw him out of the band, then there were battle lines drawn in the sand as a fan. You were either with Metallica or you were with Megadeth. And,
yeah, right.
And you didn't like each other. If you had a Megadeth shirt on, I'm like, you're punk ass.
I know, man.
You know, but then at the same time, we
can talk about this in the music episode.
Yeah, and then at the same time, then I crossed into...
Good preview.
Then I crossed into hip hop. I mean, dude, probably like... I mean, obviously, when I was younger, I remember when Breakin', the movie, like that was as a white suburban, as a suburban kid just being... that's when it came into me. So I got to finish my thought first.
It's so good.
It is.
It's so good.
So then it just grew from there. So that's a little teaser, maybe.
That's good, man.
Yeah, I think we could talk. I think the music episode might be a 2-parter.
Because one episode is going to be hip hop.
Yes.
It has to be.
Yes. That is the one genre that has stayed with me. I will delve back into metal. I will delve back into rock. But I'll always go right back to hip hop, and it's always about, for me, it's always about the beat. Yeah. It's always about that beat. It's always about that groove. Like I love it. And then just the poetic nature of the words to me, and the storytelling was always like songs like you listed. Like for me, Public Enemy was just like really blew my mind of listening to what this man was painting a picture for me to try to understand.
Right.
So, yeah, I think we could definitely bang out a 2-parter and a music episode.
I'm going to yawn first real hard.
Yeah.
No, we're going to get in. I need my afternoon nap. That's what it is, Jason. I'm like an old dude. I'm like an 80-year-old man.
Yeah.
But this episode, we're talking about selling houses. Yeah. I know. Boom.
Exciting.
Flipped all the way.
Everyone was all excited. Like, oh, man, we're going to start talking about Public Enemy.
This is
we're going to talk about it straight out of Compton. No, we're going to talk about mortgages. And we're going to talk about people coming through your house, complete strangers picking on your shit.
Hey, what's your mortgage rate?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I was saying, like, my house is so nice and clean because we have a nice house. Mm. We did a lot of work on this house.
Yep.
I could run down the list if you want to be really bored.
Yeah.
But some people aren't into it. But I mean, everything.
Yeah.
I joke around with my wife and say, like, I've touched every inch of this house with my bare hands.
Yeah.
Like, I have done something to this house every square inch.
Yeah.
And brand new doors and windows and floors and kitchen and paint everywhere, and
and it all paid off because you're going to turn it over quick. So that's that goal.
We already got an offer.
Yeah.
in 3 days.
Yeah.
So, and we're going for, I wouldn't say greener pastures, but we're getting more room. We're getting a bigger yard for my kids. We just had too many kids.
That's it.
So, that made me think about how I'm like, what's the episode next week? The sex episode? Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Video games.
Music.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, who knows? Next week it might be about just Hostess cakes.
Yeah.
Can we do an episode on Hostess cakes?
Considering that my father was a Hostess cake man for 25 years, and that's how I basically was nourished through my childhood.
We're doing an episode on Hostess cakes. If you guys are down with that, we're doing it.
My mom will teach you 50 different ways to make Twinkie into a dessert.
Oh my God, that's a great topic.
Different desserts. Like we had a deep freeze. We had a deep freeze, one of those old chest freezers in my basement. And the kids, if you would talk to my childhood friends.
They were frozen?
Oh yeah. You would open it up, and it was like in Pulp Fiction when they would open up the briefcase and the gold would come out, that lighting, and you never knew it was in there. Yeah. But in mine, it was all Hostess cakes. Everything you could think of was in that deep freeze. And the kids in the play, we had the biggest yard of all the friends, so we'd all play wiffle ball.
Dude, your house was legendary.
We gave out Hostess cake for trick-or-treating. So you would show up and there would be people lined down the street to come to our house because we were the Twinkie house.
Oh,
they came and got Twinkies. God. And then I would be dressed as Twinkie the Kid. My dad.
Look at that. We're previewing the Hostess episode.
I can't talk about
Hostess. You can't talk. Why are you giving all the good stories away?
Teasers.
Good teasers, Jason.
I was naked underneath the Twinkie the Kid outfit. God. Now you're definitely coming back.
We're going to talk about Jason's house was a destination in McKees Rocks.
No, I didn't live in the Rocks, man.
Wait, where?
No, I was from North Huntington.
Oh, that's right, North Huntington.
No, I moved out this way. I lived in the suburbs.
That's right.
Yeah,
dude,
deep in the suburbs.
Your house, you had frozen Twinkies, big yard, topless biker chicks in your front.
That was a thing.
You got to listen to more podcasts to know about that part of Jason's life.
God.
We'll just have to do one episode called...
Last night at that mic, I was talking about that story. Oh, my God. I never thought I would say it, but that dude just had me thinking. I started talking about the story where I was in the back of the cop car with my mom.
Oh,
and I had no basis for that story. I had no point to the end of it. I just ended it. But I was just thinking, oh my God, yeah, that was fucking.
We should just do, even though I know Jason covered a little bit on Family Vacation episode, we should just do an episode called Daytona.
The $100 of quarters. Go play video games, kids. We're gonna go.
Dude,
we're gonna go bar hopping.
Oh man! But now we're grown men. And I'm selling my house. Jason
selling my mother-in-law's
selling
house.
his mother-in-law's house, and. But yeah, so we did all this stuff to this house, and we made it really nice, and luckily we were selling it pretty quickly, which was the plan.
Yeah.
And but man, it is. I mean, I remember like I've sold a house before, but this was like now with like 3 kids, it's like every time someone's like, okay, someone's coming over tomorrow at noon, and it's like 11 o'clock. My wife and I are like this mad dash. Like, in a movie when the kids have a party and you're like, Mom and Dad's on their way home early from the lake.
Yeah.
Mom got sick on their date and she's coming home early. We got to clean up the party.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like my wife and I are doing. We're like hurrying up and like cleaning up toys and like wiping a toilet down and like, hurry, open the shades, fluff the house up.
I've never gone through that. So we've lived we've lived in the same house, since we've been together for 20 years now. But but selling my mother-in-law's house, like I got like a taste of that. I mean, ours was completely different. We talked about that a few episodes ago where, I mean, we brought in a company. I mean, because we had 100 years of history in this house.
Yeah.
I mean, generations upon generations of stuff. And so we had to hire a company to come in and take care of this for us.
If you go back, we did an episode called Moving Your Parents Out. Basically cleaning out your house for your parents and things. A grown-up issue.
Yeah.
It's a grown dad issue. But that's what you're talking about.
And I think that went down. We had that podcast before it all went down.
Right.
Because I was at that point just sorting through her house. And then the next phase was we brought a company in to do an estate sale.
Right.
And if you have the opportunity, I mean, that's the way to go.
Right.
I mean, because the way those companies work is pretty interesting. Like
you explaining it was like, wow, they do everything.
They did everything. I mean, they came in and we did more than we needed to, but at the same time, my wife wanted to go through everything so that the family could have certain things to make sure that certain heirlooms were important to the family. But yeah, you pay a flat rate.
That's great.
But that's taken out of the sale.
Right.
So this company comes in, she'll do a quick walk through the house and determine whether or not it will garner enough money to cover her and to put some money in your pocket. Mm-hmm. And, you go into these things thinking it's going to be like, Antiques Roadshow, and you're just like, oh, this stuff's, and they're just like, no, it's just stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not worth a lot. And, you're seeing things priced for $5 and they come in on a Monday. Yeah. They separate, price, stage, take pictures, shoot a video, came back Saturday, sold everything that could be sold. The next day on Sunday, a truck pulls up, a box truck with a team of 6 people, and they took everything that could be donated, and they had 3 different charities that they donated to. Wow. And then everything that could not be donated, which would be trashed, was thrown out in the backyard. 2 days later, dumpster shows up. 3 guys show up, throw everything in a dumpster, vacuum, wash everything down, clean the floors, gone. House is perfect.
What?
It was nuts. So, we covered the cost of everything and got some change from my mother-in-law. And I sold some different things. She has some albums and things that we ended up selling off for her and some rare coins and stuff like that we came across. But, but right now we're in the process of selling it, and we're not as fortunate right now as far as like we've had some hits, but no real interest.
Right. Well, you got an older house.
An older house. It's not been updated, and all the things that you have in your house. So we're now
different things. That's tough.
Yeah, we're going through the process now. It's a little bit more of a different neighborhood, a little bit more of a challenge, but we're now going through the process of, we just took our first lowering of the price. Right. But we're also in a different situation where the money isn't going to fund the next moment of her life. Right. It is about putting into her bank account so she doesn't have to worry about anything. And she's 86 years old.
Gotcha.
And she's an incredibly, you would never think 86.
Yeah. I mean, this is such a big thing for us selling this house because, I mean, my wife and I, we lived in 3 different houses. We lived in 2 different houses before we had kids. Mm. And we lived in a townhome for about 3 years, which was just me and my wife in 3 bedrooms. Well, we had a roommate. Longtime best friend of mine, and so and then we bought my mom's house. We took my mom's house to basically help her flip, and we had a roommate. We had our roommate, and my sister lived with me for a minute because she got out of college. But then basically we went and bought this house because we were having our first child. Mm-hmm. And we had all 3 of our kids here. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and it is nostalgic to us. Sure. And I think my wife was a little more like, oh my gosh, we raised our babies here. And I'm like, oh boy, don't start, I can't even think about that.
I think that I'm probably more on that side with Wendy as to how I would be if I came. I think Melissa would be that way.
Your kids were in your house, till they were adults.
My daughter, my daughter was 5 when we moved there. So we lived in an apartment for a little while, very short period of time. And then JC was born. We lived in the apartment. He was born in June. And we moved into the house the following Mother's Day.
Oh, wow.
So he was about 11 months living in the apartment. And we celebrated his first birthday at the house. So that's all that he's ever known. Yeah. Alexis remembers the apartment.
And it's weird for us because we bought a new house, and we're going from, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this well, we'll see. I don't want to talk about it too soon.
Yeah, let's get you when you sign the papers. And,
we'll talk about it more.
And I'm assembling the crew of people that are going to help you move.
Jason is the production manager.
I'm the production manager of the move.
Jason is production manager of the move. It's going to be buck wild.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Like, we still don't know yet.
We're going to tell everyone at the Arcade Comedy Theater we're having an open casting call, and then they all going to show up. We're going to all load them up in a U-Haul truck.
Improv all-star team auditions.
Yep.
And basically, Aaron and Jason are going to watch you move things
Yep.
from a U-Haul to a house. Yep. And we will determine whether you can be on the All-Star Improv team. That's hilarious. And it's called U-Haul U-Comedy. That's dumb. That's the worst.
So stupid.
But this whole thing too, it's also like, yeah, I mean, what if something does happen and we don't close?
Yeah,
And, you
can't.
You never know.
Yeah.
But like, we're also like, oh my God, like, what if we have to like, we're like going like, we realize we may be in between houses for like closing dates and things like that. So it's like, where are we going to go for like 2-3 weeks?
Well,
where are we going to put all our stuff at?
You don't need to have that happen.
Well, actually, I'm telling you, we might have to have that happen. It's just the way it works out with like people that want to buy our house and move into our house, and when the other people are getting out of their house. So it's like, it's possible someone could be like, well, we want a 30-day close, and the other person wants a 45-day close.
Right.
So it's crazy like that, where it could be 15 days where we have nowhere to go and we have to put our crap somewhere.
Does that not get to a point where, and I'm just throwing this out there again, I've never been through this. I've only bought a house. I've never sold a house, especially in a situation like this. Let's say this scenario comes up. Let's say that the person that wants to buy your home right now, 30-day close.
Yeah.
The people that you're buying the house from want a 45-day close. Can you now turn to the people that you're buying the house from and say, I want this much money taken off because I'm going to have something as far as to pay bills for a housing and a situation in between?
Yeah, you actually can get extra money if someone says, oh, well, you know, we can't close for 60 days. Right? Mm-hmm. In my new house, we'll say we're closing in 45. Yeah. And I'll be like, well, it's like I got to pay an extra month of mortgage on my house. Typically, if someone asks to do that, they're going to have to take care of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's kind of how that happens. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like if they can't close and you get your keys to your new house, and they pretty much have to pay the mortgage. Yeah.
My goal is that whenever I do sell my house, because I mean, we're going to sell eventually. I don't see myself retiring in this home.
Sure.
Our goal is we're looking to move into an apartment.
You want to get an apartment in a city?
We would love that, but I don't know if that's going to be. I mean, the way Pittsburgh is now, I mean, apartments are absolutely, and I can't imagine when we're ready for that moment.
There's condos downtown for $900,000.
Yeah,
$1.5 million.
Well, that was funny. We went to one.
Wait, did you go to open house?
We were going to an open house, and unfortunately, fortunately, which is funny, I went to the wrong address. It was a little mix up of what they posted.
Oh, okay.
And then that was actually the office versus where the actual apartment was going to be.
Right.
And then we find out that it was like $1 million apartment that they were showing, and we were just like, we're just having fun.
And then you were like,
we're just two middle-aged adults getting ready to go empty nest, and we're just like, wouldn't it be fun to have one of those apartments with a brick wall in it?
And then you were like, $1 million for what?
Yeah, I was like, shit.
You're like, I have a house where I can walk out on the deck and cook steaks
in my boxer shorts.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that,
You're telling me I have to go to the courtyard?
Yeah, but that's what we're looking to do. I mean, that's our next phase of life.
You have some time.
We do have some time. We do.
Your kids are still young in their age. They're still figuring out what they're doing.
Yeah. Lexi will probably hold on for. I wanted her to hold on for at least a year. So that was important for her to really save that money.
Things are getting.
But that's where we'll be. I mean, we'll be selling the house to go and downsize. So
hey, well, if I get the house that I want, I'll have 2 acres, and you guys can build a little. You can build a little carriage home on my property, Jason.
I don't want to live there,
Jason.
This is a scheme to make me watch babies. No, we're moving away from our kids.
Jason,
we're not moving in with more kids.
Let me tell you something.
Melissa, at this point,
Uncle Jason and Aunt Melissa, come on.
This is the point where Melissa turns the podcast off. She's like, call it.
Look, Melissa right now actually thinks it's a great idea. She's listening.
Oh my God,
your wife is listening. She goes, oh my gosh, we could still have little kids around.
No, she just broke a vase in her office.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
She's like, we're trying to get away from kids, Kleiber.
But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a 2-car garage, and you guys can have a bungalow above the 2-car garage.
Oh, man.
A bungalow, Jason.
Our dreams are coming true. Everything we've all... Oh, rent-free. Oh, my God. You get the sled ride
for free.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be amazing. I hope we get this house. I hope we get this property.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, I'd avoid really getting too deep into it till the ink's dry on the paperwork.
No.
But it's going back to the nostalgia thing. I think even the kids, it's going to take a minute. with the kids. It'll be interesting of how, I mean, you have to be sort of prepared for when you move to this new house and you've got the kids that are so used to their home and they're so used to everything. And then all of a sudden it's a bigger home. There's more things that could maybe freak out a younger child.
Utilities are more.
See, you're thinking that. I'm thinking about the emotional aspect of your son who's sitting there going, oh, the creaks that I'm hearing in this house compared to what I'm used to in my house, and them being ready for that.
I think they'll be okay. We'll see.
They will be okay. They'll have no choice.
Our kids have already
that's what
been
happens
like,
with kids.
oh, we have to leave.
Oh, it'll be emotional. But they'll get over it.
New friends, and I know. Well, I know. That's tough.
No more walking to school.
No more walking to school.
Yeah, those are the things that you're going to miss.
Yeah. To drive the kids to school. Oh, jeez. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, it's definitely it's an interesting process. And so what happened was, when we were looking at houses, when we found, and this is not, obviously the title of this podcast would be Selling Your Home, but it's not like we're giving tips. It's just kind of a normal thing what normal parents, dads go through. Yeah. Selling your house. Yeah,
some people multiple times in their life. I can't imagine going through that this many times in your life.
I know some people move all the time. Yeah. They move like every 3 years. Wow. Then again, that's people that don't own a home.
Yeah, that's a little.
Rent houses. Yeah. And I'm like, now this is debate. There's some contention here, but I reached a point in my life where we did a lot of financial counseling and try to really take hold of your finances and things. And so we reached a point where we were like, why are you wasting your money on rent? Mm-hmm. And at some point in your life, you should put your money into something, into equity. That's owning a car. You're not just leasing cars. You should own a vehicle. You should own a home if you can. You should.
Yeah.
You should have equity.
Early on in my career, it was suggested to me in the industry that I worked to not own a home.
Really?
Yeah, because at that time in that industry, it was all about you. I knew guys that had moved 20 times in their career in different parts of the country.
Why? Because they would move
to move up
places.
Yeah, to move up. It was sort of like this badge of honor of thing of like, I've worked in 14 states.
Well, that makes sense.
And that's how they made their way. I was fortunate that I made my way and was able to stay in Pittsburgh. And I just made a choice early on.
Right.
My mentor just said to me, I strongly advise you to not buy a home. But I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to do that. Just make sure that it's in a good area and a good home that you can turn over and sell it. Because in that industry, they would tap you on a Wednesday and tell you have to be in this new town on Saturday. You have to leave your family, and they need to be left behind to sell your house. Jeez. It was crazy, but we were very fortunate.
Well, and that's insane because I'm trying to juggle my stand-up calendar where it's like, hey, we might have to move Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Because I didn't book work on Easter weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I might have to move Easter weekend. We do have a show Easter weekend, though. Good Friday.
Yeah, we do.
We have Stand Up Get Down.
We do.
That's in April.
Yeah.
But in March, you have Stand Up Get Down as well.
Yeah, 31st.
That's right.
Full night.
It's for the Burning Bridges Comedy Festival.
I'm hosting the 8 o'clock for the Burning Bridges as well. Yeah. So I'm hosting that show at 8 o'clock Arcade Comedy Theater. All touring comics on that.
Yeah.
There's no locals on that show that night. And then Brian, is it Brian Barringer's on that one?
Brian Barganier.
Barganier, yeah.
Oh, yeah, funny dude.
Yeah, very funny. He was on Stand Up Get Down with us.
Yeah.
He's headlining that night.
It's great.
And then we'll do the Stand Up Get Down at 10 o'clock that night.
It's great.
The minus Aaron Kleiber Stand Up Get Down that night. So it's just the way it worked out. Well, it's all good.
Yeah, other than that, in March, little spoiler, you can see me twice in Erie.
Yeah. I'm coming up for one of them.
You got to.
With the wife.
I'm not going to say.
The wife is coming with me.
But hey, if you have any friends in Dayton, Ohio, I am headlining Wiley's Comedy Club in Dayton, Ohio, March 24th and 25th. Tell your friends about it. I tried to sing The Weekend there, but it didn't work. And then March 30th through April 1st, not an April Fool's joke, I am going to be at Junior's in Erie with Harlan Williams, one of my bestest headliner friends, and he is one of the funniest human beings on the planet. You got to check that out. And then the first week of April, I'll be at the Funny Bone in Albany, and then then we get into Easter weekend where I might be moving and doing stand-up get down.
Yeah, that's fine.
You see how we snuck in our shows there?
Yeah.
People didn't even know. They were like, "Wait, what?
What
Houses?"
happened?
That's how
March
we did
11th. Where can I see Jason Clark at the Arcade Comedy Theater?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will be the monologist I'll be the guest storyteller, which is an incredible thing. I mean, I know you've done them
For what?
for the Hootenanny.
Yeah, for the Hootenanny show.
For the Hootenanny, where
That's a cool thing.
it is a rush to go, because you go up on stage and you just ask for just one word suggestion to get yourself telling stories. So you're not planned.
Yeah.
So it can be anything.
But it's also so much fun.
Yeah.
When you see a team of improvisers,
that's the best.
Do a story based on your story.
Yeah, they do a set. Then they'll do scenes off of your story.
The last time I did it, I told a story about witnessing my wife's first C-section, and it was insane.
Oh, yeah.
It was so insane.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing. I know that there's different names for it from different improv theaters.
Right. There's Mondo.
There's Mondo. I know that UCB. There's
Armando.
this called AssHat.
Oh, AssCat.
AssCat. Yeah, that's with Poehler and the Amy Poehler and all of them. Horatio Sands and those guys would always do that. Yeah. Pull that stuff if you want to get an idea of what we're even just talking about. Right. Go ahead and look that up. Be careful how you type that in, because you might get some crazy shit in your server. But just put UCB and look that up, and it's a really great environment.
AssHat? Did you mean bum plug? What was that?
No, I think it's AssHat.
Google. What did that? Yeah, no, it's AssCat.
AssCat.
Yeah, it's AssCat.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. So then to see them do that. And then I'm doing that Rowlich thing right after that, back to back. That's right. Night for John Rowlich.
March 18th at Arcade Comedy Theater.
No, that's 11th.
That's March 11th?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's 18th?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. No. March 11th, we will be, Jason will be at Arcade Comedy Theater. We mentioned this before. It's a comedian friend who passed away with really bad health issues. But yeah, next weekend, March 11th, we'll be at Arcade Comedy Theater. I'm sorry, Jason will be at
Arcade Comedy Theater.
Yeah, geez, oh man.
All night. You're going to be in Weirton.
Yes. I will be at the show in Weirton, West Virginia, and simultaneously there will be a John Rowlich fundraiser show at Arcade Comedy Theater as well. Mm-hmm. John Rowlich was a guest on multiple stand-up shows, worked at the Pittsburgh Improv. He was on our stand-up Get Down.
Super sweetheart.
Yeah, the sweetest guy in the world. He's very, very missed by the Pittsburgh comedy community. But there'll be 2 shows benefiting him and his family, so... Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Other than that, quick shout out to Epicast, our producers. If you like this podcast, if you like how it sounds, if you want to start your own podcast, you can check out doing that and talking to Epicast at epicastnetwork.com/services. Not only do they produce podcasts, we record this show at wherever. At my house, in the car,
eating donuts in Columbus,
eating donuts on the road,
I see,
like a boss. But also they have an amazing studio. You can record in studio. But not only do they produce podcasts, they also produce live productions, event productions. They can record live audio, studio audio, video, photography. They put on huge comedy shows, a lot with the Drinking Partners, and they partner with a couple other people and put on some amazing shows. Check out Epicast, epicastnetwork.com/services. If you have any needs like those, they can take care of them. Other than that, shout out to our sponsor, Vitamin Water Zero. I'm just trying, Jason.
I know.
Because I love it. I love Vitamin Water Zero. I'm just looking around my house. I'm like,
that's the flavor, too, XXX. That's the only one I ever liked of theirs.
I like them all.
Although I love them all now that they're a sponsor. Love them all.
I like the mix and match.
Yeah.
Mix and match. Also, shout out to our sponsor, Zoom H4 Handy Recorder. Jason, I'm desperate.
I don't feel well.
We need some new sponsors. So if you guys know anybody, or if you have a product or a business that want to be a sponsor, hit us up.
Yeah.
We will talk about it, especially if we like it. If it sucks, well, we might just give it back to you.
Yeah, we're just like, whatever.
We might just be like, we don't like this.
Yeah.
But when we like something, we really like it, and we would do an entire podcast on it.
We would. We could do that. I honestly, God, I think if you gave us a thing and said, we want you to talk about this for 40 minutes, and we'll be like, oh my God.
Jason, what product could you do an entire podcast on? Pitching it because you like it so much.
Oh, wow.
I'll give you mine right now. I could talk about Amazon for a day.
Oh,
I love Amazon with all my heart.
You know what? That's funny.
Amazon Unlimited Music?
So many things.
Dude.
Just shopping for Amazon. The fact that
Prime
I can
Music.
The fact that shopping, I can pull up my Amazon app right now and scan you, and it will pull up gray hoodies.
Gray hoodies.
It would not pull up your DVD. That'd be funny as hell, though. I scan you, and Grown Man Business, the DVD shows up,
hilarious.
and it pops up and it says, "This is 65 minutes of material you have not heard tonight."
68, actually. So holler at your boy.
I will continue to mess that up on purpose. But no, Amazon. No, Amazon. My wife. Great thing for Amazon.
Yeah.
She left her gas cap at the gas station. Okay, she was pumping gas. She took it and she set it on top of the gas on top of the pump.
Yeah.
She comes home. She calls me from the driveway. She goes, "I've got to go back to the gas station. I left my gas cap there." She goes back. It's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Someone took it. Right then and there, I type in make and model of her vehicle gas cap in Amazon. I had it primed the next day.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to the auto parts store.
It's amazing.
I didn't have to. It was right there on Amazon.
It's amazing.
So yeah, no, I do. I love Amazon. I really, really love Amazon.
Yeah, it's spectacular. Also, it reminded me of.
I love Irish Spring body wash.
Really?
I do. Are you a bar soap guy or are you a body wash guy?
Oh, I'm a body wash guy.
Yeah, I'm a body wash. Irish Spring with that menthol in it or whatever that makes you feel cool when you get out of the shower.
Yeah,
I like that product.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not crazy about the Irish Spring. I do want to give a shout out that's something hysterical. You got to check out my friend Doug Benson. You guys know Doug Benson, and it reminded me because you went with my wife.
My wife.
You gotta check out Doug Benson's new show. It's called The High Court.
Yeah.
It's on Comedy Central at midnight. At midnight, only on Comedy Central. You can watch it actually on the Comedy Central app.
Yeah.
It premiered last night. So Doug Benson, if you don't know Doug Benson is very famous for smoking weed.
It's part of
and
why
a lot of marijuana.
Part of why he's famous.
But he's also a very funny stand-up comic. He also hosts a game show called Doug Loves Movies,
which
game
is
show podcast.
I'm absolutely addicted to that.
I've been blessed to be a guest on Doug Loves Movies about 9 times, I believe. But go check out The High Court. He actually is a judge overseeing court cases.
Just put it this way.
High as shit.
It is like the people's court.
It is so ridiculous.
And it's on television. And it's,
Judge Wapner is lit. That's what it is.
And he's that first episode, I'm like, what am I watching?
It's so funny, dude.
God.
And what's cool is, he has comedian friends of ours be the bailiffs, and they kind of Ed McMahon, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Doug is a fun person to giggle with when Doug is high. So I think you'll love The High Court on Comedy Central. Go check that out. Other than that, Jace, next week, we don't know what we're going to talk about. Might be video games.
Might be music.
Jason's going to do a little road trip with me. Are you going to Connecticut with me? Because I'm driving to Connecticut.
I don't think I am.
All right. Well, I'll do my own podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll have some stuff coming up. And other than that, give us your topics, your questions, things like that. Right?
Yeah.
We want to talk about it. Give us a topic. We'll talk about it the entire episode.
One word. Give us one word. We'll talk about one word.
You son of a bitch.
We'll do a whole episode like that. Just one word.
Son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.